This video is all about hair idioms and expressions. You can use these and love these even if you don't have a lot of hair. So, hair idioms. As with most idioms, actually has nothing really much to do with hair. They just use the hair metaphor to describe other things. Now, many hundreds of years ago, it was thought that the human hair was the smallest, thinnest possible thing ever. And so a lot of idioms will mirror this sort of knowledge, as it were, as we will see. For instance, splitting hairs. Now this is used to tell someone that you think they're being overly pedantic or picky. It's like saying, look, these two are basically the same. You're just splitting hairs, which means really back to the thing about the hair being the thinnest thing possible, is that it's something you couldn't do. It was already as fine as it could be. Another similar one is within a hair's breadth. So you would use this one to describe kind of only just managing something. The success and failure sort of differed by such a small margin that you could say that you only managed it by a hair's breadth. To win by a hair. Now this would be used as the absolute smallest possible margin before saying, okay, it's a dead heat. Now whether this was actually used as an official measurement back before they actually use accurate digital timing, I don't know. I think maybe a nose was the smallest margin, but people would often use the expression to win by a hair to show that the margin was even smaller. And then we have the expression to hang on by a hair. Now whether this is related to the Sword of Damocles story, where a guy was allowed to be king for the day as long as a sword was hanging above his head by a single horsehair, I'm not sure about. For example, you could say, the company's future is hanging by a hair. If we don't get some decent orders soon, we will go under. Now there's two expressions to do with hair that are similar. One is to get in someone's hair and the other is to get out of someone's hair. So if you get in someone's hair, you're annoying them, you're getting in the way, and if you get out of someone's hair, you're getting out of the way and giving them some space. So for example, of getting in someone's hair, you could say, oh, I'd be able to get the housework done a lot quicker if the kids weren't in my hair. Yeah. Or the opposite, you could say, okay, I can see you're busy, I'll get out of your hair and come back later. Another pair of idioms that sort of are related is to pull your hair out and keep your hair on. Now, to pull your hair out is to show that you're really frustrated and annoyed about something, and you can imagine people sort of, well, not exactly like with this hair, but I've had a bit more hair, they go like, ah! You know? And someone might say, God, the kids have been playing up all day, I'm tearing my hair out. And a very British expression to tell someone to calm down is say, oh, keep your hair on, which is like, just chill a bit, yeah? The hair of the dog is a short form for the hair of the dog that bit you. And back in the Middle Ages, they thought you could cure rabies if you were bitten by a rabid dog by finding the dog and cutting some of its hair off and rubbing its hair in the bite wound, and that would cure you of rabies. Strange ideas they had back then. Anyway, the modern equivalent of hair of the dog, what it means is you had too much to drink the night before, and the next morning you have a little bit more of it, and that will then help with your hangover. And it helps with your hangover in the same way that rubbing the dog hair in the wound helps with rabies, i.e. not at all. So sorry about that, good to know. If something will put hair or hairs on your chest, this is usually used to tell people usually men, not women obviously, that there's something unpleasant they need to eat or drink, and doing so will make them more manly as a result of it. So they say, yeah, go on, get that down, it'll put hairs on your chest. If you let your head down, you remove your inhibitions and you have some more fun. So in the good old days, it was only deemed proper for ladies to be seen in public with their hair all pinned up and looking fine, and the only time they would sort of unpin it and let their hair down would be at home in a more relaxed atmosphere, or even proper ladies in the bedroom. If you have someone by the short hairs, this usually means you have some control over them against their will. Now the short hairs in this case are actually these ones here and maybe around the back. And if you've often seen footage of old films to do with the English school system, some from say 50-60 years ago, you might actually see this in use, where the teacher has gone up to a pupil who's not being very bright, and they're saying, tell me what you said, and they're like pulling the kid like this. And this is what's meant by the short hairs. It actually was used in the classroom many years ago. If someone's appearance is described as not a hair out of place, this usually means that it's a woman who is perfect and unblemished in every way, and it's a very positive expression of admiration. Of course, depending on the context with suitable eye rolls, it could also be used to describe someone who's completely shabby and unkempt. For example, God, look at that guy over there. You know, did he sleep in those clothes? And someone say, yeah, not a hair out of place. Yeah, so depending on context can also be used sarcastically to mean the exact opposite. You can also have someone in your crosshairs. Now in this case, the crosshairs are actually referred to the little cross shape on a telescopic lens, for instance when used with sniper rifles. If you have someone in your crosshairs, it doesn't mean you're going to shoot them. It means more that you've lined them up for criticism and it's something negative. So the last one we have today is to not harm a single hair on someone's head. Now this means to not harm or hurt or injure in any way whatsoever, and is either used as a way of saying, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, I didn't harm a hair on her head or his head, I didn't do nothing. Yeah? Or it can often be used as a kind of threat. You often see it on a TV show where they've kidnapped somebody and the guy says, if you harm just a single hair on his head, I'll do something horrible. So that wraps up hair idioms for this video. What was your favourite hair idiom? Or maybe there's an expression that I didn't mention. Please let me know about it in the comments below. If you liked this video, please like, share and subscribe. And also, if you have the time, please head on over to the website in the description below for more articles about learning English that will help you. Till next time, bye for now.
Audio Jungle.
Are saying, look, you know, then we have with it. So something get on is, and again, it's very British. Oh, that's shit. The rest of the idioms we're going to cover. The rest of the idioms to do bloody shit. Well, please tell me about it in the comments below, and what.